There's been a lot of discussion about the need to raise taxes. And I'll just say this. We can't tax the very people that we expect to reinvest in our economy and to create jobs. Washington has a spending problem, not a revenue problem.
That was Speaker John Boehner responding to the president's speech last week on reducing the debt. In that speech, the president suggested ending the Bush-era tax cut on those in the highest income tax bracket.
As a country that values fairness, wealthier individuals have traditionally borne a greater share of this burden than the middle class or those less fortunate. It's a basic reflection of our belief that those who benefited most from our way of life can afford to give back a little bit more. Moreover, this belief hasn't hindered the success of those at the top of the income scale. They continue to do better and better with each passing year.
Speaker Boehner has said tax increases are a non-starter. But maybe Republican lawmakers should rewrite what they think they know about the rank-and-file members of their party, particularly when it comes to more taxes for the rich. Congressman Paul Ryan learned that the hard way on Tuesday.
The top 1% will steady about 10% of the total annual income. But yet today we are fighting to not let the tax rates for the wealthy expire, and we're fighting to not raise the Social Security cap from $87,000. I think we're wrong.
Yeah. So, a couple things on the cap.
We do have to lower spending, but it's a matter of there's nothing wrong with taxing the top because it does not trickle down.
We do tax the top. Let's remember, most of our jobs come from successful small businesses. 2/3 of our jobs. You got to remember these businesses pay taxes individually. So when you raise their tax rate to 44.8%, which is what the president's proposing, I would just fundamentally disagree. That is going to hurt job creation.
Two polls released this week show, as they have before, that most Americans favor increasing taxes on the rich. No news there. A Marist McClatchy poll found 64% support raising taxes on those who make more than $250,000. That's the top tax bracket. Only 33% opposed it. And a Washington Post ABC News poll found 72% of Americans support raising taxes on the top wage earners, with only 27% opposing it. But what about Republicans? Sure, Paul Ryan had a hard time at that town hall, but how do we know those troublemakers weren't Democrats who were planted there to fight with Ryan, who'd never dream of voting for Ryan? The Washington Post ABC News poll found over half, 54% of Republicans favor raising taxes on that top tax bracket. That's right, most Republicans, 54% of Republicans support raising taxes at the top bracket. Support among independents is 68%, and Democrats, of course, an overwhelming 91% say, yeah, raise that top tax bracket. But what about the rich? What about the people in the top tax bracket? The same poll broke down the numbers for those who make more than $100,000 a year. Now, the top tax bracket is much higher than $100,000 a year, but what we have is information on those making more than $100,000 a year. And again, a majority of them, 61% of them, say people in the top bracket should pay more taxes. Republicans, Democrats, independents, the rich, most of the nation agrees that taxing the rich should be part of our national debt solution. The only group standing in the way of that are elected Republicans in Congress. So we know they're not representing their constituents on this issue, which makes it all the more clear that what their anti-tax strategy really is starve the beast. The starve the beast strategy that was started in the Reagan administration. The strategy that cutting government spending will be politically easier to do if you cut government's financing by cutting taxes, by refusing to ever raise taxes under any circumstances, including war. Never, ever, ever raise taxes. Make sure the government never has enough money. That is the key to the otherwise impossible Republican political trick of defunding the government programs that congressional Republicans hate. Programs they hate, even though their voters support those programs and live on those programs. Indeed, survive on those programs. That's some trick.
The whisper of dreams untold. Experience a new level of global networking for life on a whole new scale.
Excellence in flight, Korean Air.
After 100 years of hybrid technology, someone finally built one you'll actually enjoy driving. The 360 horsepower, 32 miles per gallon Infiniti M Hybrid, the high-performance hybrid.
Allergy season.
Good thing it's Allegra season. I bought it at Walmart without